Hello and welcome to Rahman Digital Production. In the previous lecture, we were talking about the declaration and initialization of variables. We talked about the two types of assignment. One was pre-execution assignment. It means that before running the program, we can assign a value to a variable. In today's lecture, we will talk about post-execution assignment. It means that after running the program, we can assign the value to a variable as well. So let's get started with the post-execution assignment of variables. Why we need this type of assignment? Because there was a flaw inside the pre-execution of assignment. What was that? Let us elaborate it with an example. For example, if I have written a program num1 is equal to 100 and num2 is equal to 20. Now I want to print the value of this num1 plus num2. So if we want to check this program for subsequent sets of data, we have to go to the program physically, make changes inside the program by assigning new values to the variables num1 and num2, and then run the program. If another set of data is required, again we have to go to the program which is unwanted. By any means, you don't have to leave your user to go to your program and make changes inside it. Now let us run this program first in the IDE environment. You can see that I have written a program in which there is num1, a variable which is assigned with the value of 100, and there is num2 which is assigned with the value of 30. To get the values of the variables from the memory, we use the print command. In this particular case, we are telling the compiler to print num1 plus num2. Let us run this program and see what is the result. I am running this program in terminal, and here you can see that there is 130, quite right. But if we want to check another set of data, then we have to open the program, go to the edit mode, and then we will write another value, for example 2, and here I am writing 7, and again we have to run this program and we'll see the result because we haven't yet executed the program. In this case, we are getting, it is quite right, but going again and again to the uh, environment of the program for editing, it is not what is desirable. We will go further and let us explain. To test the same program for different set of values, we have to go to the program and will make the necessary changes, which is unwanted way. To overcome this problem, we need a technique through which we can assign a value to a variable after running the program. Here, post execution is handy. So let us talk about the post execution assignment, and that can be achieved through a function called input function. So let us talk about the input function. Now, input function is a function which is used to assign a value to a variable after running the program. So you don't have to go again and again to the editing mode of the program, and you can get the value from the user and assign it to the variable after running the program. Inside this particular slide, num1 is a variable and I am using input, and whatever enclosed in double quotation is called string constant. Constant means that it will not change. Whatever you are writing inside these double quotation mark, it will be printed as it is, and very technically it is known as prompt, which was not the case in the pre-execution. In the pre-execution, you were not being able to provide any sort of information about the variable, what should the user enter, what is entered already in the program. That was not the case, but here you are giving a proper prompt to the user so that the user will understand in advance that what he she has to enter in the program. Whatever is entered, it will be stored in num1 variable, and we can assign these types of values to a variable after the execution of a program, and you will see that in a moment. Now num2 is equal to input, enter the second number, and after that I am printing num1 plus num2. Ladies and gentlemen, when you run this program, you will get an unexpected result due to this plus operator. Let me tell you, when you declare a variable, in this case is num1, the default data type of that is string. So num1 is a string and num2 is a string. These are not numbers. In a moment, we will find the remedy for this type of situation, but for the time being, consider that plus operator, when used with the string, they are concatenating two strings, means that they are combining the two strings and they are not adding the two. Whatever number is entered, the computer will consider it a string. What does it mean? It means that if you are entering 1, the computer will consider in background it as one, 1. So it is a string. And similarly, if you are entering the second number as 2 in digits, the computer will consider it as TWO. So when num1 plus num2 is used, instead of giving the sum of those two numbers, it will concatenate. Dear students, you can see that I entered two variables num1 with the input function, and whatever value you are entering, it will be uh, taken from the user in the form of input. So let us run this program and see that whether it is working correctly or unexpected result is achieved. So I am running this program and it is saying enter the first number. For example, if I am entering the first number as 1, now it is asking input. Remember, dear students, whenever the compiler encounters the input function, it stops there and will expect a value from the user. Until the value is entered and the enter key is pressed, it will proceed further. So in this case, I am giving 2 as the value. Now num1 plus num2 is expected to give us 3, but instead it is giving us 12, as you can see. So num1 and num2 are both strings, and these strings are concatenated. Plus is an overloaded operator in Python. It has two jobs. One is when it is used with the number, it will add it. but if it is used in between the strings, it will concatenate it as you can see it. Now we have to change the type of num1 from string to integer during the execution of program, and this specific criteria is known as typecasting. So let us talk about the typecasting. I want to change its value from string to integer. In this case, you can see that 1 is very close to number, so you have to put a gap here if you want that the number should be a separate. I am putting a colon symbol here and giving a space. So again I am running it, and you will see that if I am providing different numbers, in this case I am giving 123 is the number here, 123 and 324, and when I press enter it will give you the 447. Ladies and gentlemen, we learned two things. One is that there what is an overloaded operator, and the second one is typecasting. We will discuss it now theoretically, but first let me tell you, when we run this program, an unexpected result will be shown. The result is the combination of given two numbers and not the sum, as you saw in practical example. Remember that by default the data type of a variable is string, so that is why plus was concatenating those strings. The next thing we must have to understand is that plus is an overloaded operator. It is performing two jobs, that is concatenation and addition, depending on the value. Now let us talk about the typecasting as well. Uh, Let me write that program which you just saw in the IDE. Num1 is equal to integer, input enter the first number, num2 input enter the second number, and here I am saying print num1 plus num2. In this case you will see the expected result. So changing the types of an already declared variable during the execution of a program is called typecasting. This time you will get the expected result, not the unexpected result. How we will know that what type of variable num1 is? What type of variable currently num2 is? For that we have to use the keyword type. Type is used to show you the type, and how you will use it. You will use it print, and then you have to enclose in parenthesis type num1. Print the data type of num1. Num1 is input, enter a number, and I am printing that number 1. But I want to see at the same time that what is the type of a num1. So let us run the program and then see that what is the result of this program. You can see that it is saying enter a number. I am entering a number as 10, and you can see 10 is printed due to this command. But due to this command it is saying class str. It means that number is having a data type of string. If I want to change it to integer, I am doing the typecasting of it. Let us run this program by running it in the terminal, it is saying that enter the value and I am entering 10, but this time the class is saying it is integer, and this is due to this particular command. In the previous case, computer was saying that the data type of num1 was string, but in this case the data type is integer. You can also change it to float. Float means a decimal. Let us run this program, but before that I want to clear this terminal so you see the latest result. Right click and run, and then run the Python program. It is asking for a number. Remember that I am entering 10, but it will print 10.0. Why? Because it is a floating point number. So floating point number is a number which does contain a decimal portion, and here it is also confirming that the data type of num1 in this case is float. Also I can check it with the bool. Bool is another data type which we can use inside this. Let me clear. Boolean means that only true and false. So I want to see the data type of num1. In this case it will return 10 because it is not equal to 0, and here I am running it and it is asking me to enter the value, and that is 10. And when I press enter key, it is giving me the true value. So it means 10 is the number and it is true. It is not false, and the data type is also Boolean. Now let us move further and use the concept of variables, because we have learned the concept of variable. Now the next few programs will tell you that how to use these variables. Whenever you are given a problem to solve it, you have to think on it, make a plan for it. You will see that what variable is necessary to be declared, if it is one variable or a set of variables, then according to the program you have to declare. Let us learn this through this finding the area of a circle. This is a program, I will explain it in a moment, but before that I want to find the area of this circle. Now if you are an engineer and you are designing a water tank and there is a lead which is in the circular shape, if you want to give order to the vendor for the circular area, so you have to first find the area, that what is the area of this circle. For that we need the radius. This red line is showing that it is radius. Only variable is radius. How you will learn? The formula for this is area of the circle, which is A is equal to pi r square. R square means 2 times r, where A is the area of the shaded region, which is blue here in this case, and pi is a constant which is 3.14159 and so on, and r is the radius of the circle. Now you have to think that what should be the only radius should be the variable. Pi is constant. You don't have to take the value of constants from the user. It is constant everywhere in this universe. So if we want to use pi, then there is a special library called math. You have to import that math library first, And then you can use math.py. I will use this formula, but because we are having only one variable and that is radius, so either you can declare it as a radius or according to your choice. And I am taking it in float, in decimal, so I am giving the user enter the radius of the circle. When the radius is enter, it will go directly to the radius. And now according to this formula, we will find area is equal to math.py. Pi is a constant. Its value is already entered in Python, which is this one. And then multiply by radius, and radius. R square mean 2 times radius. And whatever is being evaluated from this expression, it will be stored inside this variable area. And then I am saying area of this circle is area. Now people are always, this is my experience, are confusing, especially the beginners, that if I am writing here area and here also area, one area is in double quotation marks, and I told you that whatever enclosed inside the double quotation mark is considered to be a string constant. It will not change, and whatever you are writing, it will be printed as it is after running the program. But if it is not enclosed in double quotation, it's a variable. So it means print will do two work. It can print the value of string, and also it can print the value of variable. And after printing the variable, you will see. Let us do this program, and I wrote it exactly. Import math radius as the variable and input, and then I wrote that program. Let us run this program, but before that I want to clear the terminal. So let us, it is not mandatory, but I am clearing so that you focus only the latest expression. Run this program. It is asking according to this command that enter the value of the radius of the circle. For example, I am entering 10 in this case. It will wait for you until you press the enter, it will proceed. So now they calculated this and stored inside the area, and area of the circle is printed because it is string constant, and the value of the area is printed here, which is 314.15. So you saw that the four program development processes are carried out inside this. First, you have to take the data from the user and then stored it inside a variable, perform necessary calculation, and then show the result to the user. Exactly, we did that. Now let us further clear our concept, and that is finding the area of a triangle. So this is a program, I will explain it, but first, area of a triangle is half into base into height. Let me explain it with the help of a figure. This is what? This is a rectangle. Now this is the height of the rectangle, and now this is the base. These two must be the variables. And here you can see that I use base. I have to take these two values from the user, that is base, this one, and height, which is this one. 1 over 2 is again constant. So when area of the triangle is, that is a string constant, and it will be printed as it is. but this is not enclosed in double quotation, so it is a variable, and the value of this variable, whatever being calculated by this expression, will be shown here. Let us go and write this program. Here you can see that I wrote the program exactly which was in the slide. Base, integer, height, integer. I want to make it simple. Otherwise, you can take it in a float as well. But because you are in a learning process, so I am making it simple, integer and integer. Now, area is 1 over 2 into base into height, and then I am printing area of the triangle is area. Now, let us run this program and see that whether it is giving us the required result or not. Run this program and it will ask you enter the base. For example, I am entering 2 and I am entering the height as 3. So 3 is because 2 will be cancelled with that 1 over 2 and only 3 will remain. So area of a triangle is 3.0. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let us find area of a rectangle, and this is the final chance with you people to clear your concept. So here is a program I have written for you in advance. This is area of the rectangle, which is length multiplied by width, and A is the area of shaded region, which is this one. This is the length and this is the width. Now let us go directly to the IDE and write this program. So it is written already for you people exactly in the same fashion. So length is taken, width is taken, area is length multiplied by width, and at the end I am printing the values. Let us run this program and see the result of this program. Here it is asking first what? Here it is asking for the length. For example, to keep it simple, I am printing 2, enter, and then giving the 3. So 2 3s are 6. 6 will be the area of the rectangle. So you learn that how to take value from the user, store it inside a variable, and then perform necessary calculation and give output to the user. Do practice on it. Find the area of parallelogram, find the area of rhombus, find the area of kite, etc. Find the area of square. You can play with the variable, clear your concept, because I told you that programming is nothing but the game of variable and constant. Clear your concept. I can bet that 50% of your concept will be clear for the program. Thank you. Have a nice time. Stay with us.